The Palm Beach Civic Association brings you Palm Beach TV, the island's only newscast. We're sponsored by the Fortin Foundation of Florida. Our mission is to inform town residents about the unique challenges of island life and to highlight the actions and achievements of our leaders and the dynamic people who live here. Now the news.
Welcome to Palm Beach TV. I'm Wendy Rutledge. Anti-Semitism is on the rise nationwide, and unfortunately, it is on the radar of local law enforcement and religious leaders right in our own backyard.
Some individuals came into town and they started distributing some anti-Semitic literature that was really awful in nature into private yards and close to the roadway from a pickup truck.
None of us ever thought that on the island of Palm Beach we would find anti-Semitic literature on driveways.
Rabbi Shiner is referring to this, a malevolent reference to COVID and the number of Jewish professionals at the CDC. This is one of several anti-Semitic incidents in South Florida, including the projection of a swastika on the side of a building in West Palm Beach. Claiming responsibility, a small group calling themselves the GDL.
GDL stands for Goyim Defense League. And that is, I guess a particularly disparaging, name in Yiddish that they try to use maybe as a counter to the ADL, I think is why they maybe initially started using it.
Doesn't Goyim mean white?
In my understanding, yes.
Anti-Semitic activity is up a whopping 36% nationwide in 2022, with 5 states leading the charge, one of them being Florida.
Some of the members of this group have moved into the area recently, and that's probably the impetus for why we've started to see some of this activity everywhere from Orlando down to, Boca with, this same essentially small group that's distributing this.
Recent violent attacks on synagogues and anti-Semitic comments from celebrities have forced local temples to beef up security.
Palm Beach Synagogue, we were founded in 1994. For the first 25 years, we never thought of having security. Prayers, worship, sanctuary, who would ever do something like that? But after the incident in Pittsburgh, the incident in California, now it's the new normal, that you need security at every service.
The Palm Beach Synagogue hosted a summit with community leaders and residents this week to unite against this disturbing rise in anti-Semitism. Speakers including Palm Beach Mayor Danielle Moore and West Palm Beach Mayor Keith James. Rabbi Shiner sums up the goal.
We know that they are a very, very small minority, and it's just a matter of the voices of love drowning out the voices of hate.
We understand that this amount of sargassum on the beach at this time of the year is normal. However, scientists are telling us that that big sargassum blob is on its way.
Well, it's kind of like a mass that keeps getting bigger and bigger.
It sounds like science fiction. A 5,000-mile-long belt of seaweed weighing more than 11 million tons is sloshing around in the Atlantic Ocean. When some of it reaches Florida, it threatens to wreak havoc in the coastal waters and on the beaches.
These blooms have been growing and growing, and now we're seeing the results of what is coming ashore here. And Palm Beach being the easternmost point, we're going to get a good lion's share of it, as we have the last few years and earlier.
Scientists cite nutrient runoff into the world's major rivers that then flow into the ocean, along with warmer water due to climate change, as factors that have led to the accelerated reproduction of the sargassum into a mass that stretches from the coast of Africa to the Gulf Coast of the United States. This year's massive blob is expected to outsize the huge and unpleasant expanse of last year's bloom, a particularly intense problem on the north end of the island.
It just piled up to an unbelievable degree, 3-4 feet high in the north end because of the inlet there and the jetty as it goes out, and then it just traps all of that seaweed.
Zeidman says the rotting, noxious smelling seaweed can cause real health concerns.
It actually causes your eyes to water. You breathe it in, it causes your throat to feel burning, and if people have underlying respiratory conditions, it particularly bothers them.
And she says the mayor has some very practical advice.
She's recommended that people do wear water shoes when they're walking on the beach and when they go into the ocean. I think that's a really good suggestion, recommendation for our townspeople.
Meantime, Coastal Program Manager Rob Weber says it's early, and what sargassum we see now is fairly normal.
This is not unusual yet. This is very seasonal. We do expect that to ramp up in the coming weeks and months ahead. But as of right now, what you see on the beach is what we generally see this time of the year.
In the coming weeks, the town council will vote on a resolution to hire a company called Beachkeeper to rake the beaches when the blob eventually hits.
We're just going to do whatever we need to do to protect the residents, and we're not going to stop.
It's getting close, our annual meeting and season celebration.
Join us Monday, April 17th for our annual meeting and end of season celebration. Hear the mayor's State of the Town address and our end of season review. Come celebrate with us as we enter our 80th season. That's 10 a.m. April 17th at the Flagler Museum. Please RSVP on our website or call the office at 561-655-0820.
That wraps it up for us. Thank you for watching, and you can catch us anytime on social media or our website. And we'll see you next time right here on Palm Beach TV, a production of the Palm Beach Civic Association.
Palm Beach TV is a production of the Palm Beach Civic Association. We thank our sponsor, the Fortin Foundation of Florida, and encourage you, our viewers, to let us know how we can provide news coverage that best serves our members and residents.